Catus, Maximus here, this time with a little review of this, I would say, medium-sized brass punch and drift set. These are brass. I assume that Mayhew is using a bit better quality brass than, say, other manufacturers. Mayhew is made in the USA, so I've been trying to do more US-made tools, of course. And they're pretty proud of it. Whole American flag on the package. Two on the front of the package, as a matter of fact. Third one on the back. They're real proud of it. But these actually aren't too bad. They're a little expensive, I'd say. About 25 bucks, but they are made pretty well. I really like the fact that they have some good knurling on them. I like that they have nice deep roll stamps. Part numbers are stamped into them, which is handy. With drive pin punches, actually with any of these brass tools, if you beat up the ends, of course, you can just sand them down until you have a square end. The purpose of brass is twofold. One, it does not spark even when hammering against steel and other metals. Brass is non-sparking. It's corrosion resistant. And of course, it's soft, so it reduces the likelihood that you're going to damage something, say, even steels, but as well as aluminums and other things. And so also the difference between a drift and a punch, of course, is a punch is designed to like drive out roll pins, so it has a smooth shank and the rating. So this would be a 3/8, but this is actually going to be just a little bit smaller than 3/8 in order to push through an actual 3/8 hole. Where a drift like this is just made for trying to knock things around, maybe split aluminum housings and casings and that type of stuff. And what I mean by the quality of the brass is I have a set of older Harbor Freight brass drive punches. I don't think they're made out of quite the same brass alloy as the Mayhews. I don't know how well the video is going to show up, but there is just a slight color difference between these brasses. One thing I did want to mention is that the Mayhews are sized pretty nicely. They do pay more attention to that. If we take this 1/4 inch, which I do like as a much shorter one compared to this Harbor Freight, plus it's having just a bigger, easier to grab onto body. If we actually measure the Mayhew here, we're getting 243 out of it. We measure the Harbor Freight. It's about the same size. I was getting about a thousandths difference, a little bit larger on the Mayhew. And once again, on the brass one here, what we have is just a little bit lower than 3/8. 3/8 is 375 thousandths. We can see we're at 368. Now the difference between that and my mistake, this is a drift. This is a 3/8 drift. Anyway, it's a nominal size, as we can see, 375. This is they're calling it a 1/4 inch solid, and the reason it's called that is because it's based on the tip size here. So, sorry for that little mistake. Anyway, just wanted to show it's kind of hard to find brass punches and drifts and driving tools, and it's neat to see that Mayhew does have some available, and they're American made and actually pretty decently, or pretty well made to boot. So just want to make a little video about them. They really are great when you need to hammer against stuff, but you just don't want to damage it. That's the whole point. These get beat up, but they're soft brass, so it's easy for you to square off the ends and fix them up. The only thing you have to be aware of is that these things will bend pretty easily. So if you are using them to drive pins and stuff out, you need to really make sure that you keep them real straight when you're hammering them, and don't just put a ton of force into it. You got to use a little bit lighter taps, maybe with a heavier hammer. That way you're less inclined to swing really fast and hard. And these things will work out pretty nicely for you. For me, it's a nice upgrade to go along with this set of smaller ones. Anyway, really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out.